I'm about not a quarter of a mile from the Rock Creek Trailhead of the Colorado Trail. Car camping. Not my initial plan when I left Georgia. I had hoped to hike in, do an overnight, and or maybe find a loop. Just a lot of different things have happened over the last couple weeks. I didn't prepare like I should have. I really should have got the word out about wanting to find a segment, lining up a ride, so I could maybe do a one-way and then get shoulder back. I didn't do any of that. So what I decided to do was just to come up here, find an out-of-the-way place to camp. There's a road right here, kind of a primitive road that has some dispersed camping, and there's several people. We're all about 200 or 300 yards apart. So there's some folks camping about a quarter of a mile around, and there's some people down here in a bigger tent. So yeah, we're just kind of spread out, and this is nice because this is a lot less crowded than some of the other backcountry ones I had looked at last weekend. Anyway, I'm kind of surrounded by peaks. I don't know how good the camera's going to do this, but those are peaks off to the west. Over this front range right here, this front rise, there's a huge valley. It runs down to Fair Play, and I think that's a valley that just kind of runs all the way back by Terriall and all of that. And then over here, behind my tent, we've got some peaks as well. So we're kind of midway between Wellington and Kenosha Pass, if that gives you any idea on the Colorado Trail where I'm at. So lots of wildflowers out in this area where I'm at. You can see across there the yellowish greens, and then butterflies, of course. More of those guys. I don't know what they are, but they're just really cool. You know, little wasp buzzing around. They're beautiful. I mean, even just right here, and there's like four different types, three or four different types of flowers. Just gorgeous. Well, I got the bear bag hung up, and it looks low, but it's, when you stand under it, that's a good 12 foot up. So anything that would come out on these limbs is just going to collapse them down. So I cooked over there at the fire ring on my stove, and put the trash in there and a few other items that I thought might give off some smell. I've got some dried packaged stuff in the truck. Hopefully that will be more attractive than whatever's in the car. Hopefully nothing will come mess with it at all. I think because I'm up here, there is a camp down there and another one up here, and you know, you hate to say it, but hopefully somebody else's camp is more inviting than mine. But hopefully you leave us all alone. But I don't know this area well enough. We're not really near a creek. That's all down, and there's plenty of campsites and campers down along that creek down at the bottom of the hill. So, you know, that all might be a much more likely place that a bear would go wandering. I just don't know. I don't know enough about the bears in the Rockies to know what they'll do. Or bears at all, as far as I can guess. I know if there's shelters around, they'll go to shelters. So CT runs right through back. You can see that car part back on the other side and runs on out. So we're gonna hit that tomorrow, do a little bit of hiking, and see how it goes. I don't know if he'll stay around, but a hummingbird literally just came through my camp, lit up on my ridgeline here. Actually landed on it, on the orange part, I guess, because it's so colorful. That was really cool. I heard this come flying by. And like, hey, he's a little bit low for a fighter plane. Yeah, he just took off after some flowers. Wow. Wish I'd have got a better picture. I filmed a little bit with the RX-0, but I don't know if it got him or not. We'll have to see. I don't know if you can see, but there is a hummingbird right on my line. This wind coming from the south is kind of a bad sign because there's a storm to the south. And I don't want to get wet. Everything should be coming from the west, the way nature intended it to. And there's definitely rain out there. You can see it coming down, or see the mist under the clouds. If that comes this way, you get wet. And it sure looks like it is. Well, the wind shifted from the west. Maybe that's a good sign. Hopefully that storm will blow on to the south, or to the east rather, from where it is, and stay south of us. But I was prepared to maybe get rained on. That's just kind of the way it is. I wanted it to wait till I got bedded down, so we'll just have to wait and see. Rather be all tucked in, snug as a buck in a rug. It's going to start storming. I'm fairly certain the tent should hold up, so. Some kind of animal bellowing down there. I don't know if it's a cow or what, but it's making some racket. It's cloudy, not a good sign today. Well, forecast calls for a little rain today, which is gonna suck. It's gonna get out on the CT, but storms are around. It's cloudy, so that's a sign. I may pack up and just check the forecast and see where I can go. At least I got to come out and camp. I got my water boiling. Waiting for it to boil up. Like a little coffee. Well, the tent's packed away. Had to get it out from under the tree because a bunch of birds congregated there this morning. And they started dive bombing my rain fly. Been walking around, make sure I didn't leave a stake or something. Don't look like it. I think the bellowing I heard this morning out in the distance was a cow. There's no fresh manure up here, but there's obvious signs of cattle coming through here, and we had to drive through a cattle grate gate. But yeah, there's some signs around here you can see here. This was a good spot to camp. If I'd have known this spot was here, I could have arranged a shuttle and done section 5, stopping here and camping and then continuing on to Kenosha. It's just not a trail system I know very well from a hiking standpoint. I followed it for years from a mountain biking standpoint of people racing it, but that doesn't tell you things like where would you stop if you were on foot. Where they stop on a bike is a whole lot further along. So, and I'm not that intimate with it anyway. So this is more or less an overlanding trip more than it was a hiking trip so far, but at least yesterday and this weekend. But still great to be out here in the backcountry, which is where I wanted to get to, so it's nice. Coming into BV. So we're up above Johnson Village. BV's that way. Taking a look at the peaks. I believe these are the collegiates. Yeah, just hanging out, taking a look at the peaks. This is a great viewing area where you drop down into the valley. Slide is this way, BV's that way. Ooh, tractor trailer's having to lock them up. So there you have 2 avalanche fields. To give you an idea, if you look through the trees, you can see the highway. The avalanche came across the road, and essentially, what, 25 feet from this parking lot before it stopped. So, yeah, pretty wild. There's another one over here. Alright, we're at Avalanche Trailhead. We're just going to do a little bit of the CT. Just get my feet wet on it. And going to hike south. There's an observation area. A good place for a photo op, according to Gut Hook. About 6 miles up, but I don't know if I'll get that far or not. We'll just have to wait and see. And we'll go up there and see what's what. Alright, here we go. Right off the bat, you're going to see this avalanche debris hiking right alongside of it here. Or through it, it looks like. You get a look upward here, you can see where it came down. And it's strange, you can see how narrow it was when it started. It just picked up and just gathered steam. And the other one off to the left. All the way across. Looks like we got some hikers, maybe through hikers, I don't know. Well, it's more like car campers. Big old aspen. Aspens down here, or over here, much bigger than the ones I was camped in. We make our way across this field. You can't see up above here, but it goes way up there. Incredible force. I could be wrong, but I think this might be columbine. Somebody can keep me honest. So there's the top. You can see all of the trees bent over. All these aspen, everything all the way down this hill. Hit this creek bottom here. That probably took a good bit of the force out of it, even though it did continue on. I don't believe it made it across the road like the other. Really amazing what snow can do. You can see remnants of some fire damage through here. Looks like it maybe several years ago. It looks like char to me. It's not completely black. See a lot of these. I saw several of these up at the heading up into the campsite I took. Makeshift shelters people have put together. Going through a couple of these drainages here. You can see out there peaks. We're slowly making our way upward. I'm glad it's slowly. What I'm finding is hanging around at 6,000 feet, hanging around at 9,000 plus are two different things. At camp last night I could tell. I'd walk around a bit and find myself taking about 3 or 4 big breaths almost without thinking about it. After that I'd be fine for a few minutes. So clearly I'm not there yet in acclimatizing. Alright, something's barking at me up ahead. I guess it's a little squirrel. Now he's being quiet. See if we can find him. Where you at, buddy? You can hear people down at this little lake. It's like a resort or something down there. There's something barking right along in here. Clearly wanted me to know I wasn't welcome. Oh well. Kind of thought maybe we were going to walk along that lake, but that would be nay. Got a few views of it. So the aspens gave way to these spruce or conifer. Kind of remind you of Lake Canada and Alaska. Maybe they're lodgepole pines. I don't think so, but I guess they could be. I don't know my mountain pines very well. Well, it's our first stream crossing. Pretty navigable. Yeah, that rock's a little loose. Awesome though. They're beautiful. Good water source, I'm sure. Come back out to what looks like maybe some storm debris. Ooh, we got a little short tail. Don't know what it is. So I don't think it's a grouse. Maybe it's a youth. It's not taking off very well. There he goes. Maybe he's still learning a thing or two. He's learning when he sees a fat boy he might get eat. So he ain't taking off. A number of little trails meandering. Here we go, some more of those. I don't know that they're quail, but they're some type of little. There's a robin. We know that's not what they are. And there goes a woodpecker through there. This is a great little place for birding. Quite a number of different birds right here. I'm raising sand back here. There's our little buddy in the tree right there. Kind of cool. Number of different birds right here. I'm kind of damaged here. I don't know what. I don't know if it was snow or. It doesn't look like anything came down the hill, so maybe it was just wind. Just busted through here and tore up some trees. Rain. Don't know how much we're going to get, but it's definitely starting to sprinkle right here. Doesn't look like there's a big cloud over us, so I don't know what it's going to do, but we'll see. Not good. The trail got a little bit growed over, as we say back home, back there, but it finally opened back up. It's just sprinkling. Can't decide what it wants to do. I think it's really just because this cloud above us got a little thick. The storms this morning were heading north. So if this one's heading north, we don't know what's on the other side of that ridge, and it'd be coming this way. If it heads east, the way nature intended storms to go, then we may be in pretty good shape for a while. See way up on the ridge to my left. Still getting some sprinkles. We got a big old tree in front of us. That's a big feller. I don't know what kind of ground cover that is. See some more over here. Pretty cool though. Sprinkling is closed down to just a little bit of sprinkling. We can hear what's bound to be a cascade of some sort, but you can't see it yet. You can see a little pond. Presumably we'll be going down there. I don't know. We're fitting to find out. Yep. Don't bust my butt doing it. Well, I guess that wash goes down there. We keep on moving straight ahead. There's our blaze. And here comes a mountain biker. Got a woodpecker, he just flew across the trail. He'll make an appearance for us. There's another one right there. He went around behind the tree. There he is peeking. We got another one over here. There's a squirrel coming down a tree in the back there. I've seen more wildlife right here than at camp. Of course, I'm in a forest, so there you are. Pretty cool. Another makeshift shelter. People honing their bushcraft skills, I guess. See the dirt road down there. And you can see down into the valley. There you are. Clouds are rolling northward. So chances of us getting one on the way back probably went up. We'll see. Kind of an odd pattern. I know years ago in late June, early July, there were storms coming up out of New Mexico, and they called that the monsoon season. Interrupted the Great Divide race. It was just tons of rain. Just washed out all the racers except for Matthew Lee and one other guy who eventually pulled out too. So it's not unheard of for them to flow south to north. I don't know this region well enough to know if it's unusual, but it would seem to be unusual. It's not a spring rain season really, but been a lot of rain lately since I've been out here. Nearly every afternoon it's a group of storms going somewhere. Well, back the way we came, there's thunder. Not a good sign. Hope I can sneak back up there and get in the car before it starts. We're going to make our way down here to the trailhead real quick first. This is Cottonwood Trailhead, so we're really only got a wee little taste of the Colorado Trail. Might end up with about 4 or 5 miles by the time we're done. But it's better than nothing. And I did get to see some interesting things, so that's good. I believe this is Cottonwood Pass, or Cottonwood Trailhead rather. So we'll walk down here, see what's down here at a few feet. Thought I heard a creek. Well, there's a kiosk at least. There you are. Looks like that could be rain between here and that peak. See if we can sneak back to the trail, to the trailhead before it starts. So this butte apparently caps off the ridge that we were skirting. We gotta make our way back up to the side slope there. Head back. Starting to get sprinkled, but I can't tell if between here and those peaks if that's rain or not. Right above us, doesn't look like it'd be more than sprinkling for a little while anyway. We'll see. I'm not suiting up yet. You can see how much is coming down from that pond. The rushing water you hear is from Cascade over there somewhere. Not coming down too hard at least. Not yet. So the clouds are moving south to north. And it's thundering ahead. So if we're lucky, the storms are pushing left to right. And that should give us this open window right here to get to the car, I hope. Fixing to find out. Mountain biker lady came back this way. I'd really like to know if she cleaned it. She looked like the kind of woman who probably would clean it, buddy. She'd come through here without dabbing. She looked to have pretty good skills. Would have been fun to watch her come through that. And if she did clean it. Back at our creek, I didn't notice all of this grassy vegetation here. I wasn't paying close attention when I came through. Really neat. I know we're getting close to the lake. We can hear people down at the lake having a good time. See the lake through the trees a little bit. A little hard for the camera, I'm sure, but straight ahead's a hummingbird. Don't know if the camera's going to get him or not. He lit into that tree right there. There he goes. See if we can see him. Where you at, buddy? There he is. Oh, hey. And there he goes. So we're almost at the end here. Got a bit of a late start getting out here. Intent was to hike near camp. And that kind of fell through. But I'm not terribly upset. I got a good breakfast and fair play. Had to wait a while. But it was just a nice local place. The waitress was talking about how there was a 450-pound black bear that's actually browned off. That has been getting into some mischief in the hills just north of there. And apparently he was one of two rescued cubs that were tagged and released, I guess. She said he had 2 tags on him. I assume one was from when he was a cub. I don't know, but apparently he got into a llama pen and killed somebody's llama, so he's a wanted bear. They're looking for him. Probably will euthanize him. But that's a big bear. She said she saw him in her yard or in her driveway or something not too long ago, and I had to hold her dogs back. He's just a big fella. So that's a good bit north of where I was camped, so I'm glad that he didn't come my way. Can really hear the water running. You see it down there, making a little twist. Sounds awesome. Kind of reminds me of home, hiking along the AT and Stover Creek and all of those places. Three Forks. Alright, we're back at our debris field. Make our way across this. Water running beside us. It just sounds so nice. We can get across here and duck into the woods, get across the bridge. Forgot about the bridge. Not too much further. Through this camp, you can still see some water droplets on these tents. They got a little bit of rain over here. Moved out just in time for us to come through. I'll take it. It's easy to say it's not your tent. It is easy to say it's not my tent. It's not my tent. Back across the highway. Heading across that second debris field now. Destruction is just crazy. Amazing. Parking lot's a little damp. There's old Silver waiting patiently, like he always does. We'll call this one Taste of the CT because that's about all it was. Just Avalanche over to Cottonwood and back. But it was nice. You know, that's the best I could hope for this morning. Didn't go quite like I wanted it. It was rainy, threatening up and around where I was up at Rock Creek, where I was camped. But at least I got to camp in the backcountry. and I got a little taste of the CT, and made my way down through the valley, and great breakfast up there at Fair Play. So a little touristy, but still fun, and I learned some things for the next time. Next time I come out, I hope to do a proper section and do it right, and make some itinerary adjustments, I guess, maybe, or make some arrangements, I should say, and get some shuttling done and get some better understanding of where I want to be. I could have done it on that section if I'd have been paying attention and really done my research, but that takes time. But had a good time today, actually. I think this worked out really well. And I'll make my way back to Parker, and then back to Georgia next weekend.